Greetings, Israel, Judah, Elder DFG. Hey, my brothers and sisters. I want to take a few minutes on today. Today is the 11th of June. But I want to take a moment and just share some things with each and every one of you, hopefully to drive you into more of a reflective mode, mindset to really self-examine and then challenge yourself once you've done that and ask yourself, if what the lesson here from our Tanakh and Torah today, does that lesson apply to you in any kind of way? And then second, understanding the importance, my challenge for you is when you hear these lessons, or the lessons that you study on your own, or the lessons that you're hearing if you're with us on Wednesday night Tanakh studies, what do you do with that information? Do you write it down? Do you go mark it off and say, okay, yeah, this matches with that and that matches with this? And then you set it down like finishing, a meal and go lay down or go on with the rest of your day or whatever you may be doing. Because if that's the case, if you're listening and you're hearing, you're doing your own research and your own studying, but if you're not using that information to self-assess, if that information that you're hearing is not being applied to you, then if you recall the example the other day, and I just so happened to put the books together this time around. Remember I told you about this book that was gifted to me? That book? And then remember I told you about this book that was purchased by me? This book. And the utilization of this book, if you can see in there. You may be able to see through there. Well, maybe you can see where some study and reach. Well, just look at it like this. See, this is what you should look like after studying. But most of us look like this. Again, this is what you should look like after studying. But most of us look just like this. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the lesson, but I ain't gonna do nothing with it. But I expect my life to change. I expect when Yah comes to bring me back home with him. I expect the blessing of Elohim that make a man rich, Proverbs 10 and 22, and add no sorrows in my life. Or if I am sick, it's only because Yah is blessing me and he's trying me he's trying to teach me something. Oh, lies. That's a lie. That's a flat out lie. That is a Jesus, New Testament, whited out Torah, go exactly against Yah's word, lie. There's no way that Yah would tell us the blessing of Elohim make a man rich, Proverbs 10 and 22, and add no sorrow with it. And this is in Proverbs. This is Solomon, the son of David, well after Moses. And then we have Moses talking about the blessings of Yah in the Torah when we're in the wilderness. And then on top of that, we have David talking about it in Psalms 27:35. It says, I am old, but I was once young, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken, or his children in poverty. I've never seen the righteous forsaken, or their children in poverty. Again, look it up for yourself. Psalm 37 and 25. I have to bring this out because, again, when the truth comes, that stiff-necked group inside of Israel, I don't know where they come out. They're like roaches that come out in the dark, or rats that show up in the sewer lines looking for garbage. Predators, rodents. They can't help themselves because they don't want to see us win. They really don't. I'm talking about Israelites among us, brothers and sisters. They don't want to see you win. What they do is nothing. Again, they do this and then get angry at those of us, again, who do this. you know, who actually study, write things down, all right? Apply it, right? And if you're not careful, brothers and sisters, you'll allow those individuals to seduce you by using New Testament lies, New Testament lies. You'll allow them to seduce you into believing that your Savior, your Redeemer, your Messiah wants you to suffer. Bear that cross. Be a martyr. And let me tell you something, brothers and sisters. That's all enslavement, colonizing, religious lies. See, Yah doesn't two-time his people. Yah's people two-time him. Y'all know what two-timing is, right? Being in an uneven situation, an unjust situation. Yah doesn't two-time us. We two-time him. That's why in the book of Ezekiel, in chapter 16, he called us every name under the sun, from whores to dogs to wicked to evil and much, much more. And we're going to look at that, today. A couple of things. I want to share with you what conviction looks like. I want to remind you that Yah, again, as I stated a moment ago, all you have to do is I told you where to go already. I pointed the direction. If you have a humble heart, you're going to go there and look for yourself. But again, there's some other things that may apply to you, like rebellion, stiff-necked. You know what I'm saying? Bitterness. Stubborn. Arrogant, high-minded. Because arrogant is not someone, for the record, who's proud of their accomplishments and want the world to know about it, just like the heathens do, and many of you who accuse the just of Yasharel of being arrogant, you're the same one that go out there and celebrate when your football team wins the game and they're running all over the place and you jumping up in the chairs and hooping and hollering, wherever you are, in your house, in the bars, in the streets, going to parades, celebrating birthdays. How is that not, pride? Oh, not the same thing. Well, yes, it is. I turned 30 years old today. Lordy, Lordy. Maria's 40. And you're giving her a party. It's my 20-year anniversary. Why we need to know that? I'm getting married in 2 months. Here's the invitation. Why we need to know that? Because according to you, anytime someone puts a spotlight on themselves to show what they believe is a great accomplishment, you think is arrogant. Because you think like the heathen, because you are a heathen. Because if Yah said, "A blessing of Elohim maketh a man rich and add no sorrows with it," then why wouldn't that person want people to know how Yah has blessed them? Why wouldn't they want the testimonies, as we were told that there will be the Torah and the testimonies, meaning the Tanakh, will be written so others can see the goodness of Yahuwah? Why would David say, "I was young, but now I am old, and I've never seen the righteous forsaking or his seed begging for bread"? That's not a testimony. That's not a boast. What you would call bragging. No, you don't understand what you're talking about because of your pride won't let you have knowledge. And therefore, as Hosea said, you're destroyed for lack of that knowledge. But here's where the rubble really meets the road, brothers and sisters. And I'm just bringing these people out because I want to warn the rest of you, my brothers and sisters, to be on the lookout for that group. They're like a rattlesnake. A scorpion. Some kind of, deadly plague, a disease, an epidemic. They're like cancer. They just can't see a good man or a good woman striving in Yahuwah. They just don't want to believe that this word in this book is true. Just as the book said, every word is true, it's pure. Does it not say that? Come on, let's go over there right quick. Then we're gonna go to a couple of places, then we're gonna get in this, get out of this. Hallelujah, y'all willing? Let's go to the book of Proverbs real quick. So I want to talk about the power of Yah's word. Hallelujah. Hopefully you have your your hammer and saw. But look what it says here, Proverbs chapter 30. And then we're going to get into a couple of stories. One in Maccabees and one in the book of Exodus. And let you go on with your day, praise Yahuwah, or your night, depending on when you get this word. But I do want to remind you, when the book said trust in Yahuwah with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding, that means you shouldn't be trying to figure it out for yourself. You're supposed to go to the book and then go to the elders, and then through a collaboration of thought, through an assessment of facts, based off of judgment and justice, decisions are supposed to be made. If you're out there making decisions on your own, not following that direction, you're nothing but a vagabond. That's what the book says. You know what a vagabond is? It's someone who's going their own way, doing whatever they want to do, whenever they want to do it, because they feel like it. You're a vagabond. Running around, chatting, hi, wash, with all y'all that hooping and singing and Indian dancing, for lack of a better word. Just running around in a circle around a fire. And that fire is the pit of hell that you're going to trip and fall in sooner than later. Because you can't be told anything. But again, I digress. But it was said, need to be said. But look what the book of Proverbs said, chapter 30, verse 5. Every word of Elohim is a pure word. It is a protection unto them that put their trust in him. Every word of Yahuwah is a pure word. Purity. Solid. And it protects everyone who put their trust in his word. And that's why Proverbs 3 and 5 says, trust in Yahuwah with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. So how are you doing your own thing, and yet you're following Yah's commandments? You're walking contradiction. You're vagabond. You're between two opinions. But Yah has a better word. He called you whore. Male or female, doesn't matter. Just like he said, when he says the bride is male or female, it doesn't matter. And all this whoredom have to stop in your life if you want to get a man. If you want to see the blessings of Yah, if you want to get a woman, you got to stop being a whore. You got to lock up shop. Take a bath. Sterilize yourself. That's called repentance. Rehabilitate yourself. That's called contrite. And then you experience all the promises that are written in this book. You will see that the Yahuwah word is a shield unto them who put their trust in him. But as long as you listen to these old raggedy ass, no teeth, bad breath, bald-headed idiots talking trash to you, you're going to be nothing but a rat like them. It's the rat trying to make more rats. Rodents, parasites, filthy pigs that return to the mud, dumb dogs that return to their vomit. And it was Yah try to pull them out and they try to pull you in. Y'all pulling you out, they're pulling you in. Y'all pulling you out, they're pulling you in. You can't win like that, brothers and sisters. Victory comes through sustainability. And that sustainability has to be in Yah's word. You got to love Yah's word so much that if anyone asks you to go against it, you have to have a position that, no, I'll die first. I'll die for it. If they're asking you to go against Yah's laws, statutes, and commandments, ones that you can keep, even the ones in captivity that you can keep, you have to have a mindset that you'll die for it. It doesn't matter how old you are, how long you've been around here. Another problem in Israel. I'm too young to stop having all this fun. Oh, I'm too old to change. Two tits on the same cow. I'm too young. I'm going to have fun. I'm too old. I'm stuck in my ways. Both truism, both going to lead you right to hell. Hell enlarge yourself. You got a spot there. You got a reservation. Because God's not going to put up with rebellion. He's not going to put up with you doing it when you get ready to do it. And he's already manifesting that in their lives. But let's go to the word and match it up. Because the last thing your elder wants you to do, or the last thing that your elder wants you to say, you'll say it anyway. Oh, that's just your opinion. Okay. Well, y'all say his word is a shield to them who put their trust in it. That ain't my opinion. So you can call it bragging, you can call it arrogance, you can call it whatever you want. If I tell you Yah has blessed and guided and protected me, then that's what I meant. Because it's true. And if you're sick and broken down, busted and ugly, that's true too. And more than likely because you don't keep his commandments. Or you know about them. You keep them in theory. You can quote the scripture. But you let Yah tell you, I want you to stop doing this particular thing and start doing that. And that's something that you don't want to do. You find out real fast who you're serving. Sell that house and take that money and give it to the leadership of those who's trying to build for Yahuwah. That's what I thought. Get it? Well, if y'all told me to do it, I'd do it. No, you wouldn't. You want to do anything now with your resources to help the work of Yahuwah. You ain't gonna do it. You know, quit playing. Like in the movie Friday, you know, the little series of Friday, the Ice Cube movie. Remember the first one? Little boy was riding a bike and always knocking over trash cans, and you know, the Ice Cube fell into Chris Tucker fella, caught him, and Chris Tucker took off his belt and he was hitting with the belt. The boy told him, quit playing, that you quit playing. But see, y'all ain't gonna hit you with that belt. He can hit you with that fire. But since we're talking about taking a stance, are you willing to do whatever it takes? Since some of you are saying, well, you know, brother, I'm with you. I'll do whatever Yah said for me to do. I'm glad to hear that. But can I give you a little example of what that could possibly look like in the days to come? Let's go over to the book of 2 Maccabees. I know some of y'all saying, oh, he's going to the second Maccabees to talk about the woman and her son. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You know what they said about assumptions, right? They got asked how to you and me. So let's just wait. Come on, just come with your brother. Come with your elder. Let's study this out together. Hallelujah. Because at the end of the day, I want you strong. You can call it bragging. You call it whatever you want to call. All I say hey, show me what you got. I'm showing you mine. I'm showing you how Yah is blessing my body. Show me how Yah is blessing yours. And I'm good with that one. That's about love. That's love. Iron sharpens iron, right? And that was Sister Cynthia Ellis said on the Zoom call the other night. Sister, if you heard me, gave you a little shout out because you deserve it. Hallelujah. Let's go on over here. Let's look at this. 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 18. Now watch this story, brothers and sisters. I want to show you what resilience looks like and what standing for righteous looks like. Under pressure. I want to show you again. But those who hear to do nothing, compared to those who hear it and do something. Unused life, dedicated life. Talk about it life, do something about it life. Again, talk about it life, do something about it life. That one will give you knowledge. Do something about it, talk about it, keep you empty. Got a lot of information, but no application. A lot of information, but no application. A lot of information, but no application. And without application, your life is worth nothing before Yah. But the world, the heathen, they'll celebrate you. They celebrate anything. They celebrate Pride Month. Two nasty human devils, women with women, men with men, licking upon each other and doing every kind of other wicked, filthy behavior known to mankind. And it's being celebrated. Oh, and by the way, you better keep an eye on your school children because they're doing all kind of wicked stuff, especially in these public schools, pushing that. I was riding by a playground the other day, and I saw these flags all flying all over the place. I guess it was for the whole thing with the Normandy thing, right? The Normandy invasion. I think that was in June 7th or something like that, 80 years ago. But do you know, all up and down that city, they had the American flags. That thing flying all around. But right by the park, they had gay flags flying around. LBGBT HELL flags. Or GOTTOHELL flags. Or GOINGTOTO. I'm going to say it again. GOINGTOHELL flags. Going to hell flags flying around. So the children can see it. Mommy, Daddy, what's that? It's programming them for destruction. But just wanted to say that too. They boasting and bragging about that. Notice they ain't called them arrogant. If you calling your, let's look at this brother. Okay, this is an older gentleman. So let's get into work here. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 18. And Elzar, one of the principal scribes, so he was a man of faith. He taught the Torah. He taught justice. He taught judgment. He taught equity, fairness. An aged man, meaning he was an old man. And a well-favored countenance. He was good looking, hallelujah. And he had a good reputation. Was constrained to open his mouth and to eat pig's flesh. But he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination. He spit it forth, and he came to his own accord to the torment. He actually put pork in his mouth, probably unintentionally, and realized it and spit it out, knowing that those who were watching him, if they had seen him spit it out, that was a death sentence because the king had passed a law saying, you eat what we give you. Now, see, it's the same law that was, if you go to the book of Daniel, chapter 1, verse 8, where that king, or the chamberman for the king, told Daniel and what we call the Hebrew boys to eat the king's food, and they said, no, I'm not eating that mess. And so this ties right back into why so many of those who want to, get angry, upset, because of when I say that your health is supposed to be good health, and imply, oh no, bro, you just don't understand. The sick are always going to be among you. You're damn right. I didn't say the sick was going to be among us, wasn't going to be among us. I never said that. I said the blessing of Yahuwah said he will bless your body is what I said. And you won't be sick. That's what I said. What I said is that what he said in Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 17, that his word is a healing medicine for your body is what I said. Because when you keep his word, that means you obey his dietary laws. That's what I said. And you keep his dietary laws like Daniel did, told the king, no, we're going to eat. We're not eating that. We're going to eat our food. We're going to eat pulse. We're going to eat beans and lentils. We're going to eat protein. We don't need all of that. Come back later and you tell me if we're sick or not, if we're healthy or not, or unhealthy. Came back, looked at them, said, okay, y'all good. But yet, our people want to eat anything that's put on that plate because it smells good, it tastes good. And then when you go to them and say, you know, Yah has cursed your body, that's why you're sick. They'll tell you, oh, brother, you're being hateful. No, I'm not. What I'm actually doing is being charitable. It's unlike your filthy physicians out there who will just give you something, you know, to keep you alive. I'm trying to teach you something that will actually do what they give you will never accomplish. Because they're just going to make you a drug addict, dependent, a fiend, fiending for something. But Yahweh's word cleans you. You don't have to be a fiend, you can be clean. But you got to use it, you got to apply it. And as long as you're, you know, running off and hating on us because we're telling you the truth, then guess what? Farther and farther and farther into the pit you shall go. But you own that. Don't try to deflect that and push that on us. You own that. You know your lifestyle. You know what you're doing. You know what you embrace. You know what you like when nobody's around. You know you sneaking and peeking. Get a little bacon. Can't hurt nothing. You know how it is. Talking about pork. But as soon as that spotlight come on you, you run back over here to the dark. Start talking shit against the people who trying to pull you into the light. Come on, let's go a little farther. But he chosen rather to die. This is the book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 19. But he chosen rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination. He spit it out and came on his own accord to the torment. He said, look, if I got to die for this, I'll die for this. I'll do whatever y'all tell me to do. If y'all say I shouldn't do it, I ain't doing it. I don't care what nobody else say. I don't care what nobody else think. I don't care if I could get away with it. Nobody's looking. Is that your conviction? Because anything less than that ain't going to do. Not before Yahuwah. Maybe for you. Maybe for those who, you know, who are, for those who don't know you well, those who are not around you, you know, those who just take your word for it because you said, well, it ain't me, it's hereditary. It's what do they call it? Generational diabetes. Well, what, really? You're an Israelite? Have you ever stopped to think that there was generational diabetes maybe as a judgment or a curse to someone who was maybe violating Yah's commandments by eating food that they shouldn't have ate? So they passed it on to you. And if you're going to do what they did, you're going to have what they had? So maybe the problem is you, not some generational issue? You see, this is what teaching looks like, believe it or not, brothers and sisters. This is what it looks like. Not sitting around, they talking about what feast day is coming, when it's Pentecost, what kind of, white night out y'all going to have in celebration of life. Like this place ain't about to go to hell fast and soon. These heathens digging caves in the ground, hiding in the ground. You know why? Because they know what's in the ground is coming out of the ground. So they going into where they came from. That's these bunkers. Why you think your Rick Ross and all the rest of these little filthy, low down, going burn hell with gasoline draws on heathens, are doing it for? Why you think the Zuckerbergs are doing it? They going in the ground because they know what's in the ground has come above ground. So they're going down there to hide. So what comes up here, when they finish destroying, Enoch chapter 7 will tell you about that. When they finish destroying everything up here, they soon they'll be happy. And then because they have served them all their lives by pushing their agenda, that they'll carve out, a little something on the side for them and let them live. That's that whole 500 million Georgia Guidestone type of deal stuff there. We can talk about that another time. Maybe y'all bless us, and we'll talk about it on a Shabbat study tomorrow night. Who's to say? Not Shabbat study, the Tanakh study tomorrow night, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe we'll talk about that then. But that's why they're going down there. Yeah, fire and all that is coming, but they're going down there because they know what's down there coming up here. It's already up here. And it's strengthening themselves. It's already manifesting itself. People are seeing them all over the place. And they do eat flesh and they do drink blood. So yeah, they're a threat to you. Hello, police cops on you. Bad boy, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they're coming for you? Bad boy. Because they're coming. I'm talking about the aberrations. And they're coming for all of those who are not protected and sealed by Yah's word, his power, his strength, his fire. Not hellfire, Yah's fire. The ring of fire. That he put around Elijah and Gehazi when they were under attack. And Elijah told him, go out there and look, Elijah. Look out there. You see? I don't see nothing. He said, look again. And all of a sudden, he saw that Yah had chariots of fire. You can read about that in 2 Kings, around their enemies, protecting Elijah. The same fence that he had around Job, that Satan had to get permission to go across that fence to harm Job. You can read about that in Job chapter 1. That's the only thing that's going to protect you against it. And in both cases, they were obedient. Like this brother, this older man. He put his will aside. He said, no, whatever Yah says. He spit it out. Same thing we're supposed to do when wickedness enter our hearts or on our minds or anything that would cause us to go against Yah's Torah. We're supposed to spit it out. Not fight about it, not wrestle about it, not try to justify it. Not try to, you don't understand. Yes, I do. You're just not going to do what Yah said because it's inconveniencing you. Makes you uncomfortable. You're afraid. Oh, you think you're better than everybody else. Now, that's what arrogance looks like. Someone saying, hey, look, Yah is blessing my body. Don't make them arrogant. That makes them a living testimony to encourage you if you would open your eyes. But see, there's another group out there that they really do think they're better than everybody. They got a 6-figure job, career. People call on them when they need something. They get to play God and say yes, no, maybe so. Don't call me no more. So they walk on water just like their sweet Jesus did. But they will drown. They will burn. Give it time. That's not God's guidance. That's them guiding themselves. That's them. They got this book here. I'm going to keep on doing it. They got this book here on their bookshelf, but they think they're doing this book, allowing it to inform them, transform them, to change them, to encourage them, and to sustain them. Big difference. They read the word, but they ain't applying nothing to the word, because the biggest word in this book is repent. Ask them when the last time they did that. But anyway, let's go on. Verse 19, but he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained was such an abomination. He spit it out of his mouth, and then he came to his own torment. He said, look, wherever y'all judging people at, are y'all going to deal with people because they don't embrace killing their babies, or they don't embrace homosexuality, or they don't serve, any kind of other Messiah. They have no other Savior, no Redeemer but Yahuwah. He said, turn me in that direction because that's where I'm going. On your own? Yeah. On my own. I ain't on my own anyway. Is what he's saying. The book said when you go, what did Isaiah 43 and 2 say? When you go through the fire, Yah said, I will be with you. When you go through the waters, they will not overtake you. This is what this brother is saying. I'm not fearing them. Not fearing no heathens, what they might do. I'm not feeling no demons or what they can do to me. No spirits. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in this world. That means the spirit of Yahuwah go throughout the whole earth looking to show itself strong on behalf of those whose hearts are perfect towards him. That's a plagiarized word they put over there. I just gave you the real word, right? That word. 2 Chronicles 6:16 and 9. But look what he goes on to say here. Verse 19 again. But he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination. He spit it out of his mouth, and he came on his own accord to the torment. Nobody had to encourage him to do what was right. Nobody had to encourage him to help. Nobody had to encourage him to serve. He did it because he knew it was necessary. It was commanded of Yahuwah to do it. Verse 20. And as it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are against the Torah for the love of life to be tasted. He said to show them that those who hate Yah's Torah, to show them Yah's Torah is the best thing known to mankind, and I'm going to prove it to you that you can do it. You can stand by it. That's what he's saying. That's what this. Let me read that to you again now with that understanding. Now listen now based off of what I just said. As it behooved them to come that are resolute, determined to stand out against such things, who are saying you can eat whatever you want to eat as long as you pray over it, as they are against the Torah for the love of life to be tasted. They love the world more than they love Yah's word. I'm too old to change. I'm too young. I want to have fun. You see how that goes, brothers and sisters? So when you stand with Brother DFG, that's why you're standing with your brother. In that one verse, look at all that information that could be easily overlooked. But y'all want us to see it. He wants us to understand it. He wants the elders to teach it. He wants us one accord, standing strong before him. Regardless of what they do. Regardless of how old you are. What they call fun ain't fun. Just because they're laughing don't make them mean they're having a good time. A lot of people laugh to cover up their hurt. A lot of people tell jokes to cover up their pain. Surely why they drink alcohol and do drugs excessively. But they're like they're having fun. No, they're just hiding. They're hiding from themselves publicly. Privately sometimes too. But you think it's fun. But sometimes you need to take a real look in the eyes. Not a 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning look in the eyes and say, oh, you must be a drinker. No, you must have, colon and throat cancer because you talking out your ass. I'm not a drinker and my liver is fine. Get it? But let's go on here. Verse 21. But they that had charge of that wicked feast, they were having their cookout, for the old acquaintance that they had with the man, they knew him, had been knowing him, they liked him. Taking him aside, said, come here, bro, come here, sir. Besought him, tried to, encourage him. They besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful to him to use, and make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. In other words, they told him, look, okay, go get some clean food, and then get in front of your people at this feast, and we want you to eat the clean food, but we want you to set it next to the unclean food so people can think you're eating the unclean food. See, that's these same people. That's these folk. They got the book. They got this book. But they ain't doing a damn thing that's written in this book. They ain't doing this. Well, they know all about the book. They can tell you a quick little story, half story, what they heard. They can recite some story somebody told them that's in the book. But they confuse reciting the book with actually living by what's written in the book. And that's what's around us all the time. Those kind of people. Some of them sit amongst you. Some of them want to be a part of your council. Some of them are your council. It don't take all that. That ain't what it said. That's not what it means. And you say, okay, what does it mean? And by the way, you know, isn't it time for you to take your heart pills? So they wanted him to pretend. Like so many, again, in Israel do, pretending to love Yah. Oh, they got the right words. I love him with all my heart, all my mind, all my strength. But you let him say, well, thus says Yah. Yah said that you need to stop doing this and do this. And Yah said you need to give this and you need to do this and you need to do it now. Boy, you'll find out real fast. They be like that little baby when he's trying to give a little 8 or 9 month old who can now chew, but you're trying to give them something that they know is not going to taste good, and you be doing, they be like, damn, they're falling out the high check because they ain't letting you put that in their mouth voluntarily. This that group. They love the idea of the word, but they're not going to put the word in action. Say, what? That's them. I ain't doing that. And they'll go right over there to some heathen and say, hey, what you think about this? What you think that mean? Because Brother DFG elder said this mean that. And they'll tell, oh, nah, you ain't got to do all that. That's what I thought too. So that's what they're doing with this guy. They pretend. Come with us. Be with us. Make people think, you're doing it, but you don't really have to do all that. Even though it said in the Torah not to do it. But let's see what this old fella decided to do. Verse 21. But they that had the charge of that wicked feast, and that's what most of our people are doing with all their so-called feast days, just wicked feast. For the old acquaintance they had with that man, taking him aside, encouraged him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful. So they know that the law, even in captivity, was still, because remember, they're under the king. Not their king, a heathen king. Like Obama. Yeah, him. Heathen king. I know who's the king of America right now. I said Obama. Said it right too. They're all a heathen kings. You knew what they had to do to get to that job. You would run from them people. As soon as they walked in the room, you would run out there screaming and hollering. You talking about looking at a demon. Verse 22. And that in doing so that he might be saved from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. That's what they're saying. Look, I've been knowing you a long time. You've been in this church all the time. You've been a Baptist all this time. Why are you leaving now? Mama was a Baptist. Grandmama was a Baptist. Daddy was a Baptist. Granddaddy was a Baptist. Uncle was Pentecostal. Grandfather was Pentecostal. They come up with all of that. It don't take all of that. You can wear whatever you want to wear, tight as you want to wear it. You can go wherever you want to go. Ain't nothing wrong with having fun. You got one life to live. You better live it now. Well, they got all kind of clever sayings, all conflated. Demon-driven logic that will fail in death. You might strive in that logic alive, but when you die, that logic is not going with you. Truth coming with you in the grave. See, on the earth, on this land, you can dabble in lies. You can have a good time in your lies. You and your lying friends, or your deception, or your sorcery, or your fun, or whatever you call it, your entertainment. But see, when you die, that's what, how you say, that's where the rubber meets the road. The buck stops there. And I don't care who you are, heathen, stranger, or bloodline Israelite. When you die, truth gonna be right there waiting for you. Daniel reminded us in Daniel chapter 1, he said, some going to be everlasting life, some going to be going to what? Everlasting shame and contempt. See, this man understood that. He's seeing now, okay, here they come. Here come the detractors. They come in to falsely accuse me, to distract me, to make me feel foolish. Tell me, oh no, you can't be healthy. Your word doesn't have the power to heal you. Your word don't have the power to keep you out of poverty. Your word don't have the power, to increase your knowledge. Your word don't have the power to make you walk away from homosexuality and drug addiction and killing of babies and every other kind of abomination. Your word don't have power to do none of that. Jesus could do that. That's the lie they tell. Y'all can't do it, but Jesus could do it. But Jesus is greater than y'all? No. Then Hawashai, he greater than y'all? No. But then Yahushua greater than y'all? No, ain't what I'm saying. Then what the hell are you saying then? Because if Yahuwah can't do it, how the hell one of them can do it under him? Well, brother, let me break it down. Just like a string cord, a pimp trying to talk to a dirty, nasty hoe. Come here, sister. Let me tell you something. You ain't got to be living like this. Let's go talk. Get in my fine car. Go for a ride. And there you are. Okay. 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 Fool. A damn fool. And you got a bunch of clever devils out there talking to a bunch of damn fools among us who's willing to listen to them clever devils when the truth is right here in front of each and every one of us. But let's go a little bit farther. And we're not going into Exodus today. Hallelujah. We're going to stay right here. Hallelujah. Right here. This is where the meat and potatoes is. Right here where we are. Verse 22. That in doing so, he might be delivered from death. In other words, save yourself. Don't worry about the rest of your people. But the old friendship and to find favor, and with them to find favor. See, our people love these heathens. You listen to them all the time. I don't know what y'all, what are y'all talking about? Y'all, just because they did us wrong, did us dirty, don't mean, we supposed to hate them. That's interesting. But according to our Torah, our book said eye for an eye. That's the book of Exodus. Have you ever read that before? I think it's 21. Go read Exodus 21. Eye for an eye. Let me go over there. We stand with here. Come on. This is one. Because see this Jesus lie, foolish, a high lie that they over there teaching. All you devils who teaching that, y'all going to hell. You're going to hell. You're going to burn. Every last one of you. Teaching another Savior, another Redeemer for Yahshua, you are going to burn in hell, sister. You're going to hell. You're going to burn. Brother, you're going to burn in hell. Did you hear me? You're going to burn in hell. Praise Yahuwah. Look what it says here. Verses Exodus 20, the book of Exodus, Torah 21 and 23. Says this, what? If for any mischief, then it shall be a life for a life, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, hand for a hand, foot for a foot, burning for a burning, wound for a wound, stripe for a stripe. That's in the Torah. So where do you forget those who have done evil towards you? Where you getting that from? Oh, I forgot. From Lucifer, better known as Yahushua, or Yahweh, or Jesus. Because that's not what Yahuwah said. And so if you're going to put Yahushua above Yahuwah, that makes you what? You figure that out. When he said there's no other Elohim but me, that my word is pure. I don't change. You don't add nothing to my word, you take nothing away. Is that not the same Proverbs 30 and 5, 30 and 6 that you just heard me read? He said anybody who tried to change that word is a liar. So the whole New Testament is a lie because they tried to change the word. I just gave you an example of it. He said anybody tried to change the Torah is a lie. Anyone who tell you the Torah is done away with is a lie. Anyone will tell you I got a new commandment for you, he say they are liars. Why are you reading the New Testament, brothers and sisters? That's what it said. Okay, let's go there. Now, y'all know I'm going to come back. I'm going to try this, but somebody need to hear this. That was something for you to hear. You never thought about it. Look what Proverbs 30 and 6 says. And add not unto his words, lest you be reproved. In other words, somebody should be correcting you like me. And you're going to be found to be a liar. So I'm telling you, if you believe in the New Testament and you let the New Testament tell you can eat whatever you want to eat and you can let your enemies be over you and you can love everybody, then I'm telling you, you believe in lies. And if you're saying it, then you're a liar. And all liars will be destroyed. What did Ecclesiastes tell us? What he said? That a cheat or a thief is better than a liar, but both of them are going to be going into hell. Both of them are going to be destroyed. Go read it. Ecclesiastes, Sirach. Chapter 20, I think it's verse 21, 22, there and about. He said, a thief and a liar. A thief is better than a liar, but both of them are going to get destroyed. Or a liar is better than a thief. I forgot what order, but they're both going to be destroyed. That's what matters the most. So if you're reading the New Testament, you're in a book of lies, sorcery. You're not like this man. This man said, no compromise over here. You ain't changing nothing on me. See, he had read. See, he knew about 1 Maccabees 3 and 48. What does 1 Maccabees 3 and 48 speak to? It says what? The heathen will what? In our Torah, write their laws and their standards, their exactness. Said that they would write their laws, their commandments in our exactness. Or their likeness, in their likeness. Inside of our Torah. Said they would do it. Where you got your New Testament from. We were warned that they would do it. Then they would create their images, their messiahs, their saviors, their apostles, their disciples. Yeah. Yeah. And so we're running out of time. God's gonna put it all. He's telling like this man here. This man said, this ain't time for no sparing of truth. This man said, no, I ain't compromising. I feel the same way. I'm not compromising. What say you? I know I'm not. We don't have time for that. That day is gone past. So Mr. and Mrs. too old to change, or Mr. and Mrs. too young to quit having fun, I'm telling both of y'all, you out of time. And you in the middle, you should know better by now. But you out of time too. Because you doing you. And that what y'all say? I'm doing me. All right. Let's get on back. Come on back. Take it back to the bottom of the book. Hallelujah. Let's get down to the book. Get back to the truth. So they're trying to con the man, trying to tell him, well, they ain't trying to con him. They ain't conning him. They're telling the truth. They're trying to get him to compromise himself. It's okay. That's how Satan does. The demons do that. Whisper in your ear. You don't take all that. You mean you're going to be going to Bible studies every Wednesday, man? Shoot. Man, you going to be keeping you on Saturdays, man. You mean to tell me you ain't going to be having fun, man? Saturday, the only time you get off. Man, you ain't going to take advantage of them Saturdays, man. You crazy. Damn. Man, I'm watching the game Friday night. I ain't getting on no Zoom call, man. Not me. Yeah, damn. I can say more, but then someone will get in their feelings and get their feelings hurt. So I'm going to spare your feelings, but I can surely say more this time. You know your brother, and I do it next time. Verse 22, that in doing so he might be delivered from debt, and for the old friendship with them find favor. But he began to consider discreetly, thought to himself, and became his age, and as became his age, and the excellency of the ancient years, in the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, he was gotten old, and in his most honest education from a child, he was trained up in the Torah, trained up a child in the way that they should go. When they're old, they will not depart, right? You can read that in the book of Proverbs. Chapter 10, I believe it is. Rather the Holy Torah made and given by Elohim. Torah wasn't, well, Moses came over the Torah. No, the Torah was given by Elohim, by Yahuwah. And he gave it to Noah. Abraham had it. Moses had it. And we have it. Yah doesn't change. Man does. Yah doesn't. Yah stays the same. Isn't that what he said in Maccabees 3:6? I am Yahuwah, Elohuah. Therefore, you sons of Yasharel, you be not destroyed, because I change not. Said the Lord, I change not. Therefore, you sons of Jacob, Yasharel, us, y'all not utterly destroyed. You're dying like shit going to a goose, though, but you're not. But not all of y'all. That's what he's saying. Because of this Torah, this truth, his promises, a remnant. There will always be a select amount. Unpopular, no question, but we'd be here. Again, let me read verse 23 to you again. 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, 23. But he began to consider discreetly to himself, reflection, meditation, and became his age, he active age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the Holy Torah made and given to him by Elohim. Therefore he answered according and willed them straight ways to send him to hell. He said, if you got to kill me, kill me. Burn me. And you notice he said he got his education from the Torah, not from these heathens. It says that. Look at it. Therefore he answered according and willed straight with no. Whereon was come in his most honest education from a child, or better said, the Holy Torah. So when Moshe told us in Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 6, that we're supposed to teach our children the Torah, if you really want your child to be educated, you want them to really be wise. You want your daughters to be strong, your sons to be masculine, your daughters to be wonderful and beautiful and delicate, desirable. Do you want that, mothers, fathers? Do you want that? There ain't but one way to get that. You got to go by the book, the real book, history book, for your people. And that way, when they're old, they will not depart. Again, train up a child when he's old, he shall not depart. This brother's giving testimony to that. Again, what David said earlier, in Psalms 37:25. Think about it again. Reflect on this, brothers and sisters. What he says. He said, I'm old, but I was once young, but I've never seen the righteous. Let's go over there. We're coming back. Might as well go there. Hallelujah. See, so a lot of the heathens don't like your brother. I'm talking about them 2/3 heathens. They can't stand me. They want to attack me, call me old man, call me dumb, call me whatever they want to come, because they can't attack me with the word. They can't do that. Well, they come up with their little name calling. You must be drunk. Oh, why you always playing with your nose? What the hell is that supposed to imply? Because my first thought wouldn't be, if I saw somebody doing something to their nose, I'd probably think they got something stuck in it. Maybe they're trying to clear their sinus. First thing wouldn't come to my mind, cocaine. But if I was a cokehead, I'd probably think that way. That's Israel. Got to have some excuse to justify being wicked. Look at this. Psalm chapter 37, verse 25. Look what David says. He said, I have been young, and now I am old, just like the fellow we're reading about. Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging for bread. But Yah is ever merciful and lends, and his seed is blessed. So what's all this cursed body unhealthiness about then? Oh, he ain't talking about your health, bruh. He talking about something else. No, he talking about everything. Everything. You the one talking about one thing. Now I said, I'm going to bless everything. That's what David said. When we keep Yah's laws, Yah's Torah. But you want to try to tell us, oh, no. Oh, saying, shoo fly, don't bother me. Shoo fly, don't bother me. Because I belong to somebody. I belong to Yahuwah. So shoo fly, don't bother me. I have no time for no pestilence, parasites. We got real work to do. We at war. You playing. That's why you're going to burn. But let's come on back to the brother here, the older gentleman. Verse 24. For it becomes not our age, said he, and in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Elzah, being 80 years old and 10, that means he was 90 years old, were now gone to a strange religion. He said if we're not keeping Yah's Torah, we're religious. A strange religion. A strange religion. Would that mean a different religion or a different covenant? The Quran? The Book of the Dead? The Talmud? The New Testament? A strange religion. Because anything that's not the Torah is a strange religion. He's like, we don't do that. The 90-year-old man said, we don't do that. Verse 25. And he's telling him, he said, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to confuse my people. And this is what he said. Look at this, brothers and sisters. He said, so that through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer should be deceived by me, and I get a stain on my old age and make it abominable? Look at that conviction. He's like, oh, you out of your mind? So I'm going to cause all these people to sin because I'm going to tell them lies. I'm going to tell them what they want to hear. I'm going to tell them, how to please the world, how to please the system, how to obey the governments at the expense of their souls and put a stain on my soul, put abomination on me because I chose to mislead them. He said, you must be out of your damn mind. See, that's what conviction looks like. This is when your book looked like this, beat up, worn, torn, stained. You know what I'm saying? That's what your life for Yah has to look like. Again, not this. So crispy, so clean, so pristine. Hardly a page been open. I love y'all giving us an opportunity to do that compare and contrast because that's so many of our people. Or they look the part, they talk the part, but they ain't going to do a damn thing for Yahuwah if it's going to inconvenience them. You can believe that much. You tell them to repent, please. Tell them to sacrifice, yeah, right. Tell them to be humble? Yeah. That'll be the day. Or I'll be humble tomorrow. That's them. Don't be like them, brothers and sisters. Don't be like them. Change while you're still alive. Remember what Ecclesiastes said, a living dog is better than a dead lion. But why? Because the dead don't know nothing and they're stuck in the situation that they're in. When they die, it's done. Well, you're still alive. You got a chance. This truth is your chance. Even if you are Israelite and you know you're Israelite, you know the word is true, you believe everything. The question again, are you doing it? Because it doesn't matter. Except you be doing it. Except you're reading and applying what you're learning. I will tell you that every time you read this word, there should be, okay, what do I need to change now? What's next? Have my little grocery list, sort of. You know what I'm saying? My little things to do. Okay, let me check this one off. Okay. Wrote this precept down. Okay, I got to make these adjustments here. Okay, next week I can take that off. Okay, now I still got I got these streaming. Okay, I got to work on these. Okay, this is my plan for these. Otherwise, you're wasting your time. You're just going through the motion. Moving fast, but going nowhere. This word is for correction, for edification, to refine us, like being tried through the fire. Isn't that what Zechariah 13:8 talks about? Being tried through the fire. 2/3 going to get burned and wash away, but that 1/3, they're going to be tried, they're going to get through it. You know why? Because they're applying it, they're changing. They're evolving. The word is evolving them. And don't get it twisted. It's not going around here, at the Goodwill store, standing in front of Walmart, talking about, do you love Yah? It's an inside thing that should manifest itself outside in things that are in this Torah, not things that you want to do. You see, some of us have a tendency, still got that Christian mentality. Let me go find some poor people over there and just help them be comfortable in their poverty. Need me to wash your feet? That ain't what Yah's talking about. He's talking you be an example of what you believe and you standing on it. You demonstrate it. Inside, not by things outside for show. No, you. You become the example in everything. Mind, body, and your spirit. That you walk with those like-minded who are doing what you're doing. And if you're the only one, then you walk alone. You ain't by yourself anyway. You're never by yourself. This platform was created that you be not by yourself. Why you think this channel is here? Why you're listening? So there's no such thing as being a vagabond in Yahuwah. We're a community, like-minded, obeying Yah's Torah. With structure, we listen to authority. We have a chain of command going all the way up. Yah commands us to obey that chain of command, I might add. Now you want to go read your book. He made some over 10, some over 50, some over 100. Authority, judges. Some over 1,000. Then he had Moses, another man, born of a woman. At the top, the high priest, if you want to call him that. The elder of elders, if you want to call him that. To sign off on things, just in case there was confusion. Bring him to big problems. And then he was instructed to go to council and then go before Yah to get the answer if they weren't sure. But they went right through that chain of command. Nobody was doing what they wanted to do. Nor would Yah tolerate them doing what they wanted to do. Hallelujah. Just so we got it right, so we understand it. That we're on one accord, like-minded. These things are important. Nobody wants to talk about these things, or they talk about these things tongue-in-cheek. Well, I said it, but I don't really do it. Them. We're not talking about them. This man is not one of them. All right. Let's get back. I know you say, okay, come on, can we start reading again? Some of you probably kept on reading anyway. No, y'all do. I don't blame you, but you need to stop and listen. Maybe y'all want you to hear something that you may not necessarily see here. What do you say? Shall there be a secret that I not reveal it to my servants, the prophets? So stop being so gung-ho to go run ahead. Sometimes you missing things because you're running too fast. Slow down. Be disciplined. Be reflective. Change. He said, through my hypocrisy, verse 25, and desire to live a little time and a moment longer. That's what he's saying. He said, man, life is too short for me to be compromising. He said, life is way too short for me to be a hypocrite. If y'all say that I don't run with heathens, I ain't running with heathens. Y'all say not to have no heathens in my house, there ain't no heathens coming in my house unless they're about some business in and out. But they ain't dwelling there. Will them heathens be strangers, or will those heathens be relatives? Y'all don't make no respect of person in that regard. Like Joshua says, as far as me and my house, if you're in my house, you're serving Yahuwah. A lot of people will quote you, I believe that too, brother DFG. I believe that Joshua 24:15. Like y'all said, as for me and my house, we serving Yah. Well, why all them heathens in your house? And they ain't serving Yah, and you know they're not. And you ain't done a damn thing about it. When I told them, well, shut the door on them then. Tell them don't come back till you get it right. Well, I'm going to be an example to them. You being an example when you tell them don't come back. That's the best example you can ever give them. Yah has a standard, brothers and sisters. This is not my opinion. You better go back and check and see what happened when Yah caught things in people's house that wasn't supposed to be in there. What happened to not only to the head of the house, but everybody else in that house was destroyed. Because something unclean was there. That's in the book. It's in our book. Real talk. Well, you know my grandma live with us, but she a heathen. She don't believe. Well, put her ass in a nursing home then. I don't know what to tell you. But don't let them demons that she got be infiltrating the whole house, vexing everybody. You put her in there for a little minute. When they finish mistreating her in there, she'll repent. She'll probably be gladly, I surrender. I surrender. Oh, y'all know how they go, I surrender. Oh, the Jesus. Yeah. She'll be singing that song. Say, well, no, Grandma, it's Yahuwah. Not the devil. No, not Lucifer, Grandma. Yahuwah. Then bring her on back. I'll leave her there. Her choice. We all have choices to make. Like this brother said, we only got a little time to make them. And hypocrisy, he ain't going to get it. Verse 26 again. He said, for the present time I shall be delivered from the punishment of men, yet I will not escape the hand of Yahuwah, neither alive or dead. Let me read that again. He said, though for the present time I might be delivered from the punishment of men, he said, yet I will not escape the hand of Yahuwah, neither alive or dead. So y'all come get my ass in the grave, is what that man's saying. You know he's going to be tormented down there. Many are. I can't escape the hand of Yahuwah. Why would I? I'm not going to listen to that. No man turn me away from Yahuwah. No son of no man. Some Messiah made by men. Oh no, brother. You got to understand that Deuteronomy 18:18, Moses said, a man like unto myself. He was talking about Joshua. Joshua was just like Moses. He delivered the people. So he would have been their Messiah, their deliverer. He took them into the land of promise, Canaan. He was told, Joshua chapter 1, keep the laws, be of good courage, teach the people the commandments. Same thing Moses said in Deuteronomy 6, Joshua said it in Joshua chapter 1. But because the word of Yah is not written on their hearts, they can't say these things to you, brothers and sisters. They don't even know these. They don't even think. Yah don't even let these things come to their mind. Yah's not talking to them heathen. All those platform creators or whatever content creators out there, men and women, Yah's not talking to them folk. I'm telling you, he's not talking. They're going to hell. They believe in Jesus or Yahushua or Yahawashah. They're going to hell. Why would Yah be talking to them? They're devil worshippers. Luciferians is what they really are. Knowingly some of them and unknowingly others. Doesn't matter. Because they hearing this truth too. And they're rejecting it. As many of us were rejecting this truth. Some of them just didn't know it. I didn't know it. So I wasn't rejecting. I just didn't know. When I heard it, I repented. I'm here to stay. Many of you probably have that same testimony. Say, nah, I wasn't rejecting nothing. I just wanted some clarity. I wanted some tea. I wanted to understand. And now that I do, I'm not going nowhere. I'm right there with you, Brother DFG. I stand with you, Brother DFG. Hallelujah. Brother DFG stand with you too. And y'all stand with us. Why? Because we in his word. We're not hypocrites. Man, I told you, you can eat the pig. Nobody going to know. Fake them out. Fake it till you make it. God said, bullshit. You fake it till you make it. You're going to burn in hell for that. You can pretend. You can play Israelite. You can play daughter of Zion, mother of Zion. I'm a mother of Zion. Now you can play all you want. I'm a man of the cloth. I'm a man of Zion. You can play. Go ahead on, Nathaniel, Dow. All of y'all, go ahead on and play. But y'all ain't playing. Just remember that. He said, I'll share my throne with no one. I alone are Yahuwah Elohim, and there is no other Elohim but me. And I will destroy anyone who says something to the contrary. That's Exodus chapter 22 and 21. But they tell you, oh, don't listen to that. Forget that. No. Come on back. Come on, we need you over here. We need you in our religion. We need you in the king's religion. Come on, come to the king's religion. The king's Christian, you Christian. King believe in Yahuwah, your heart, not Yahuwah. They don't believe in that. They believe in Yahushua, Hawashah, and Buddha, and Krishna, and Kali, Ra, Jesus, Yahushua. Come on, over here with us. And there we go. 3 blind mice. Blind leading the blind is what I'm saying. And it don't have to be that way. That's the crime. The crime is in the fact that we're allowing others to pull us away from Yah when we got this truth right here that we can settle it down. Instead of us conflating it and letting people inject their thoughts on it when the word is clear. No way a man like Moses would have been their so-called Jesus. He was born, according to them, through a damn spirit. Moses wasn't born by no damn spirit. Moses would have told you that's divination. He would have told you that's sorcery. That's what Moses would have told you. But that's what they got people believing over there. And now someone, well, no, it wasn't that way. He really wasn't born of a spirit. He was God. Hell's enlarging himself for them lies. Moses was born, you know what I'm saying, as an Israelite, but he spent most of his time, in rulership. According to their sweet Jesus, he didn't. And that's not a comparison. Moses honored his mother and father. That devil they talking about over there told his mother, get out of his face. He ain't got nothing to do with her. Called a woman a dog. I don't remember Moses calling nobody a dog unless she was one. Told woman to shut up, but yet Miriam was a part of Moses' council, his sister. He wasn't nothing like no Moses. Aaron on the other hand, okay. Not Aaron, Joshua. Yes, Joshua. Okay. And by the way, how interesting, Joshua would really be Yahushua. See, the enemy knew that, but they flipped it on you. Now they got you serving, a demon as your deliverer. The only Yahushua that did any delivering from our people was Joshua. And he took us out of the wilderness into the land of Canaan. And he was a man. But let's get on here, brothers and sisters. Let's go. Almost done. Hallelujah. For this present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, or should I not escape the hand of Elohim, dead or alive or dead? He's saying, Elohim come get me no matter where I go. He said, you can't run, so you can run, but you can't hide. But if that Bob Marley, y'all have heard me sing it before. You're running and you're running and you're running away. You're running and you're running and you're running away. You're running and you're running and you're running away. But sweetie, you can't run away from yourself. You can't run away from yourself. That's what he's saying. Y'all, everywhere you go, and for every piece of hypocrisy, abominable idolatry, actions that you enacted and you pushing on others, or you tolerating, like that song, y'all gonna get you. Bad boy, bad girl, bad girl. What you gonna do when y'all come looking for you? And he's coming. Except you be righteous, except you keep his Torah, except you love him with all your heart, all your mind, and all your strength. And he's coming soon. This thing about to go down around here, brothers and sisters, wherever you are on this flat earth, doesn't matter. It's about to go down. You can be, oh, the future is bright. Believe whatever lie you want to believe. Oh, they're about to go to the central bank digital currency. Believe whatever you want to believe. You ain't changing a thing. Did y'all tell you that this time was going to go on indefinitely? Or did he say there was a time of end? And even if you didn't believe that, I just have a hard time believing that. Do you believe you're going to die? Because that's your judgment day then. I think you believe that much. At least I assume you do. But then again, maybe you don't know that. But you will. You better hope somebody knows, or you're going to be stinking up wherever you are, full of maggots. But you leave in this realm. Whether you like it or not, believe it or not. You leave in this realm. And the hand of Yah will be right there to meet you. Directing you, one way or the other. But if you stand for the truth, you'll be happy. Hey, praise Yahuwah. I'm glad I listened to your word. I'm glad I came out of that evil, wicked, abominable religion and praying to these demon gods. I thank you, Yah, for your love, for your mercy. Hallelujah. That's what you going to say. Thank you for cleaning me up so I can clean the rest of us up. Leave those in my house. Verse 27. Wherefore now, manfully, changing this life, I will show myself as such as one as my age requires. See, I'm going to act my age. I'm not trying to be, going on 60, 70 years old, wearing, yoga pants so people can see my ass, see my shape. I'm not going to go get me a new weave so they can see how pretty my hair is. I'm gonna give me some dentures, cause my teeth hurt. my mouth hurt. I have a hard time chewing on these ribs. Yeah, you can talk about me all you want. Elijah talked about them heathen Baal prophets. I'm talking about your heathen Baal ass. Serving behind. If you don't believe Yah can heal you and fix you, then you know what? Then go to hell with those who you believe in. That's all I can say to you. What else is there to say? But I know one doggone thing. Yah can do whatever this word says. He said he can make you healthy. He can make you strong. He can renew you like the eagles. And guess what? They're real. Got every last one of them, even the wisdom too. Oh, there you go bragging. No, I'm not. I'm testifying. Young men, young women, this you can have the exact same thing too. You know, regardless of how much time you have left. But you got to be seeking him. You got to want him. You got to love him. You got to trust him. You got to get all them other devilish ways out of your life, out of your mind, out of your heart. And he's not a respecter person. You're supposed to age like a fine bottle of wine. A premium, you know, top shelf liquor kind of deal. The good stuff. The good stuff is the older stuff. That's the way you're supposed to be. You're supposed to get better with age, not worse. But you will get worse if you don't learn. Look around. And then look to Yah. And you think, and you answer the question, which one you want? You want what this wicked world has to offer you? Sickness, disease, poverty, ignorance, idolatry, paganism, church, religion? Or you do want the freedom, the beauty that comes with Yah's blessing as a woman of Zion or a brother or man of Zion? What do you want? Because it's right there in front of us. Choose this day. Baal be your Elohim, and you keep on serving your Hashah and your Buddha, your Krishna, and your other Kemet gods. Or if Yahuwah is sovereign, then you serve Yahuwah. And you can't serve Yahuwah except you obey his Torah. And Tanakh. All right? And that's what he said, for this present time. I don't care nothing about this present time. Brother said, verse 26. But for this present time I shall be delivered from the punishment of men, yet I will not escape the hand of Yahuwah. That's the third time we read that. That's probably a reason for that. Some of us need to make a decision. Verse 27. Wherefore now manfully, manning up, changing this life, I will show myself such as one of my age requires. He ain't trying to be a man looking like a child. He ain't trying to keep up with the little thugs. The young Jeezys. You're 40 years old, you still walking around there, you know, with your pants sagging. Still not taking a bath. Who knows whatever else. 28. And he leave a notable example to such as be young will die, willingly and courageously for the honor and the holy Torah. That is the duty of our life, brothers and sisters. The duty of our life is to set example for one another. By being honorable, that means justice and judgment, and keeping Yah's Torah. That means his laws, his statutes, and his commandments. As applicable to the situation that we might be in. What we can refrain from. This man could not free himself, but he didn't have to eat no pork. And he didn't. Just like the mother in the next chapter. The laws that we can keep, we are expected to keep. The ones that we cannot keep, Yah does not hold that against us. And if they have the word abomination attached to it, you never do it. Verse 28. He said, leave a notable example to such be young and die willingly and courageously for the honorable and the holy Torah. And when he said these words, immediately he went to torment. And they that led him, changing the goodwill they bore him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speeches proceeded. And they thought from a desperate mind, they like, I'll be damned. He's not gonna sell his people out. I'll be damned. He gonna stay loyal to the Torah. I'll be damned. He gonna go against us after all we done did for him. That's what's going on now. That love turned to hate just like that. I told you many times, brothers, so these heathens will love you when you're doing something for them, but let you go against them and watch. You see how that love gonna fall fast. Or they always going to try to incentivize us to go their way, stay with them. That's how the Jesse Lee Petersons and the Candace Owens and the Jason Whitlock, that's how them heathens get created. The heathen give them a little favor and they think a whole lot of themselves, and many others, those are name a few. They got many of them nobody know, but y'all know a lot of you are just like them. Pompous, arrogant, high-minded, because you got a nice little job, you got a nice little income, you got a nice little home, you got some things here, there, some investments here and there, and you think your shit don't stink. But it does. Man may not smell you, but you sold your pants and y'all smell you. Y'all smell your stench. You don't. Isn't that what they say? Most time folks that naturally stink, a bad breath, a body odor, they don't even smell themselves. That's most of these high-minded ones in Yahshua. You don't smell your stench, but Yah smell your stench. We see your stench, but Yah smell it. And he ain't pleased. But you think you going to get on in anyway because you say so. Okay. Time will tell. Verse 30. But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and he said, it is manifest unto Yahuwah that is the holy knowledge, that wherein I might have been delivered from death, I now endure so pains in my body by being beaten. But in my soul I am well content to suffer these things, because I will fear him. And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue. That's why these heathens going to tell you don't believe in the rest of the book. I just believe in the Torah. So you're going to forget all of these testimonies, all these great things these people did to set example for us, and you telling us to ignore it or it's done away with. You ain't nothing but a wretched heathen or a fool. I don't know which one you are. Probably a combination, or you're probably a heathen fool. So I told you, repent. That's what you can do. Repent, turn back. Well, you're going to die and you're going to burn unnecessarily. But your pride, your arrogance, your high-minded just wouldn't let you do it. Couldn't take the heat. Or you ran. Shoot, I ain't staying over there. I ain't helping him when he made me mad. Yeah, that's you. Always been you though, right? Everybody know that about you. You always cut them off when they make you mad. But you knew in Torah. Really? You will see. Give it a moment. You'll see. Again, verse 31. And thus the man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only to young men, but to all of his nation. Hallelujah. I think that's enough. I think that's a good lesson. I think this is a lesson worthy of, first of all, reflecting on it, listen to it again, thumb it up so others can hear it, share it if you know those who you think need to hear it. But understand, brothers and sisters, like this, he's an older man, 90 years old, and he did what he said, I'm serving Yahuwah and his Torah. I'm going to be honorable. This man could have got away with it. He could have just deceived everybody, just like the church does. Say one thing, do something else. Like many people we know, same way. Talk with their mouth, but Isaiah said what? Their hearts far away from Yah. They honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far away, doing what they want to do. They say all the right stuff. But go look at their behavior. Go look at their fruit. Other than their family, they ain't doing nothing for nobody. Except they make them happy, excuse me. But when the time of trouble come, when that fire come, they run. This fire came, this man, he stood. He didn't run. He didn't run. He stood right there. He took the beatings. He took it all. He took it all to be an example to his people. That's why he didn't run. He took it all because he was virtuous. Not only women can be virtuous, men can be virtuous too. Virtuous looks like that. You walk your talk. You put your words into action. Otherwise, you're just a hypocrite. And that's what he said. The man said, I ain't no hypocrite. He said, why would I be a hypocrite? He said, when I die, y'all going to expose me anyway, so I might as well do it right up in front of everybody. These are lessons, brothers and sisters. These are life lessons. Yes, the blessings of Yah will make us rich and add no sorrow. It might be rich in spirit. Doesn't have to be financial. Because what the heathens don't determine what richness is. That's why so many of our people, they listen to these heathens. That's why if they got a few dollars, they won't part with them for nobody. I'm grateful for the partners that I have, because at least you will, give a little bit of something. Some $5, some $10. Not enough of you, but at least some of you will. Because you don't love money like that. Money don't define you. Yahuwah defines you. So when he says the spirit of Yahuwah maketh a man rich and add no sorrow with it, he ain't talking about money. He's talking about being virtuous, honorable, doing what you say what you mean, repent if you need to, as many times as you have to. Give your whole self to Yah, not some of yourself, not the part you want to do. Never compromise yourself. Yah is watching. They want him to, don't let your friends get in your ear and tell you, what you don't have to do. Or it don't take all of that. Don't worry about what other people think about you. Worry about what Yah has to say about you. But you better make sure that what they're saying about you, if they're calling you out on your wickedness, you better make sure that they're not right about you. Now, I'm not talking about if they're calling you out for your evil and the things that you're doing wrong, brothers. So you had better listen while there's judges there. I'm not telling you that, because I know some of you are right over there. I don't listen to no man. Yeah, you're going to burn for that foolishness too. But I'm talking about when it comes down to Yah's word. If you're being instructed to follow Yah's word, then you follow Yah's word. And that man is instructing you. But that man is going in a different direction. You keep on following Yah's word. That's what I'm saying. This man thought to himself, he said, he waited. I said, no way I'm going to hell for these fools. I'm not going to trick my people. I'm not going to pretend like I'm what I'm not. I'm going to be honest about it. I am what I am. I don't eat no filter. I accidentally did it. I repented. I ain't doing it again. He spit it out of his mouth. And then the people came over and said, well, look, man, look, we know you. You good with us. You've been doing a lot of great things for us. You know what I'm saying? You just like us. You almost white. Homeboy said, you know what? End of the day, I ain't eating it. I don't give a damn what you guys say. And I'm not going to deceive my people, because I'm not going to burn in hell just trying to make y'all happy. And he stood on it. And if y'all no respect a person, every last one of us better be ready to stand on it. Old or young. So all you too old to change, you better look like change. And all you too young want to have fun, you better bring it in while you still can. Better go over to a cemetery, Miss 20 years old, and read some of them tombstones and see, hey, some people died when they were 19. Some died at 12. Some died at 23. Everybody didn't die at 90. So you don't have no longer than Yah says you have, young man. Better get it right while you can get it tight. That being said, I want to thank Sister Hallelujah Hartford, Sister Thompson, Sister Stewart, and Brother Starks for your partnership through donations. Much appreciated. And I want to thank all my other brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying, who have and continue to. Your partnership gives me the ability to do what I'm doing without a whole lot of unnecessary stress. Hallelujah. Allow me to take care of the things of Yahuwah without a whole lot of, distraction that the heathen place out there with. Turning this off and turning that off. Y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? Every little bit helps. It's what's in the heart that matters. Do something. Don't talk about it, be about it. In everything that you do, not just that. Hallelujah, and Yah will bless you. With that being said, my brothers and sisters, I hope this message sticks with you. Might be the last time you hear from me, or maybe the last time you get to hear from anybody. Tomorrow's not promised. But today, you could do something about it. All right? So share the message, thumb it up. You know, y'all willing, you'll be with us tomorrow night on the Tanakh study. And see what y'all has for us next, all right? Hallelujah. All right, my brothers and sisters. Yahuwah Shalom. Elder DFG.